Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Asus Saemyth. It is episode 19, I believe. We're making progress. TM. We're in 𝘏𝘪𝘮𝘃. Would anyone like to give us a rundown for an inspiration die this session as to what happened last session?
I can try to.
I will pick one of you if I have to. Do it.
I really thought that Odin was taking notes to familiarize himself with what had happened for the inspiration.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I would do it. So much happened last session. Now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so last session the party left Kaiden's home. First of all, we said our farewells and started to make the trek towards 𝘏𝘪𝘮𝘃. On the road, we met was it that episode? We met a wizard, the road wizard.
Road wizard, yeah.
Yeah, Lyre very strategically used his powers of persuasion because he ain't got no other powers at the moment.
Wow, damn, okay.
No, please. No, please. Oh, no, he's actually coming.
There's a man in the woods.
No, wait.
You're mean.
Good dad.
Anyway, Lyre used his cat as a form of bargaining. To get us past the wizard. After traversing from the road wizard, we stumbled upon a cave that was littered with gold, which caught the attention of a very money-hungry friend of ours, Ymir. Looking more into the cave and exploring probably too deep than we should have. We were ambushed by a crusade group of ogres, goblins. I think they were ogres, hey?
Trolls,
everything but. Sinza was unfortunately triggered into her lichen form and hightailed it out of there because, yeah. The party then encountered a friend of Kaiden's, Creek, who very kindly led Sinza back to camp. A little plant man who spoke very, very little common, but was quite a joy. So, the party finally arrived in 𝘏𝘪𝘮𝘃, where the party split into two separate groups. One group going to a blacksmith to get Lyre a trident, which will be good, and Kaiden and Sinza, they're brainlessly wandering, I think. So, yay.
Okay, take inspiration for the session.
Yay.
So we're gonna move straight into Kaiden and Sinza. Whilst Ymir and Lyre have been in the blacksmith shop, what have you two been doing?
Kaiden's bimbling around. He doesn't know what he's looking for right now.
This isn't particularly unfamiliar territory for you, Kaiden.
Yeah. Does Kaiden know any shops that might interest him or anything that might grab his attention as he's looking around? Like anything new even, or just in general?
What would interest Kaiden?
Rocks.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Shops,
anything other than rocks?
I mean, if he sees any new shops or anything that he hasn't seen before, he might be like, "Oh."
I mean, most of the shops will be different because they tend to rotate.
He'll probably want to check out the
regularly.
shops then, just to see what's going on.
Okay. Roll me a perception check, please.
We're looking for rock shops. Can I give him advantage because Sinza would also be looking for rock shops?
Please, because that's a natural one.
Yeah, right, fine.
Yay!
It's a natural 19.
Okay.
I'm just a foundry. I need to open this shield. D&D. Ooh. I think it's like at least 20 or 21 though.
Okay. So you're looking around. Kaiden, you're more distracted by the smell of food somewhere. Because you can smell something like frying. Somewhere in Karvik, nearby enough that you've picked up on the smell.
I was just wandering that way then.
Yeah, and
Just
Sinza's actually doing the look around. Sinza, you find a store that's selling little crystals.
As she sees Kaiden starting to wander off in another direction, she kind of catches him by like his shoulder and like turns him in the direction of the rocks.
Rotates him to the shiny
Rocks.
rocks.
He's gonna go over. What kind of rocks do I see?
It's mostly like crystals that have been carved into little shapes. So stones that have been made into statues and stuff like that. There's kind of like an adventuring little. It looks like a snail, or like a snail shell. And there's like some jade. There's some slate that has been carved onto and patterned out and stuff like that. It's mostly kind of trinkets and little things. And sat behind the stall is this kind of older human woman with long kind of white dreads. Lots of different colored fabrics, like covering head to toe. She's got such like saggy features that you can barely see her eyes, but she's constantly smiling. And she just kind of waves at you as you're like looking at her stock.
You see anything you'd like, big man?
I don't think I've got this type in my collection, but I don't have money.
Why don't you try trading for it? You have other rocks, right? You have those rubies that Lyre gave you?
Oh, no, I gave him back because, like, she said Lyre hated me, and I felt really bad, and then I thought I upset him, so I put him back in his pocket.
Ooh. How much for... And she points to the one that Kaiden's looking to.
What is Kaiden looking at?
Pointing at the slate because he doesn't have slate.
Okay. It's like it's got like a carving on the front of it of a figure you don't necessarily recognize, Kaiden. You can roll me a religion check if you'd like.
That is a 4.
4. No.
4.
No clue. It seems like almost like it looks kind of like a woman. You're not sure. A feminine figure carved into the slate. And she smiles and says 2 silver.
Oh, I don't have silver or a million.
Is this something that you would like, or?
Yeah, I don't have any slate in like my collection.
Kind of reaches into her pocket and using the very tips of her talons, she's going to pull out 2 silver and she passes them across to the woman.
Okay. She takes them and slides the slate across the table.
Right, this makes up for the piece you took from my collection.
The what?
From the race.
Oh, okay, yeah. I won that race fair and square, but, you know.
Yeah. Well, it came from my collection, so now I've got it. My collection's growing again, so it's fine. Mm-hmm. It's not shrinking.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I would like to look Toby, if possible. Are there any like kind of congregated areas around, like people kind of milling about, having conversations, sharing food, those kind of things?
There's a lot of people everywhere all the time. And there's a large variety of people here. You see half-orcs, you see Elenians, you see Asmoths, you see humans, literally any kind of species you'd expect to see on Sif, you're seeing here. It's a very diverse community in Karvik because it's constantly changing. Obviously, there is a higher number of Asmoths and their dom hands that are following them around or assisting them and doing what they need. Generally, you're seeing people kind of clustered in certain areas, certain stalls that may have more interest than others. But there's not really many kind of communal areas. People tend to have their places to sit or go when they're done milling around.
Okay. I'm looking for kind of places to hear into information that may be kind of being spread about. That's kind of like what I'm looking for. So as we're kind of moving through, Sinza's trying to lead Kaiden past these groups that may be speaking on certain things that may catch my attention.
Okay. What information are you looking for particularly?
I'm looking for information on oh god, the city that we have come from.
𝘏𝘪𝘨.
Yeah, I'm listening for any information, possible rumor traveling about the disease that was spreading through there. Any news on vampires, or any news on the sightings of a lich is kind of what she's listening for.
Okay. Roll me a perception check, please.
Because a lich is an undead creature, I do get advantage on perception if it's something that's undead. Do I get advantage? Because or no?
No, because this is hearing. You're not looking.
Okay.
You're not looking at it.
Perception. 10.
10. You're kind of walking past these groups and taking in information. You hear someone discussing a cheesemonger that's just down the street. You hear someone mention something about a library that is open, like a traveling library. You vaguely hear someone mention that 𝘏𝘪𝘨 has closed its borders.
Oh.
But that's all you hear.
Shit. As we're kind of walking, Kaiden, Sinza's ears are just kind of flip-flopping around in this kind of like goat-like manner as she walks.
Little radar as you go.
Yeah, a little radar as she's moving. Just kind of looking at you, and over these like long side glances as she's moving. She's looking at that kind of scar that she's left you on her shoulder just a little bit as we're walking through.
Kaiden probably doesn't even notice much. She is smelling food.
Mm-hmm.
You can smell something. It smells sweet. Fried and sweet. It smells good. Whatever it is.
Oh.
You can try and follow your nose if you want.
This is appealing to me in real life because I'm so fucking hungry right now. I'm gonna go eat.
Do you want to go after the food, or are you just gonna?
Kaiden is like a cartoon where they're floating, smelling the fucking smell.
You're like floating down the street after this food.
Yeah.
You find a seller who seems to be kind of a blue-skinned dwarf with very white, like hair, bald, but very heavily bearded. Wearing a very heavy hood over his head. Seems that he may be sensitive to sunlight. But he's sat in this stone structure that's barely holding itself together, as if it's kind of been put together in a bit of a rush, with a big kind of cooking pot at the back, and what looks like almost like a griddle over the top of it. And he's frying what looks like toast, like soaked toast, with this white mixture that is laced over the top of it.
Mm. Kaiden's there and now he's like, it's just dawn. He's like, I still don't have money. So,
Mom.
Yes. What?
I don't have any money still, and I'm really hungry.
What do you want?
He points to the fucking vendor.
Sinza's gonna hand you 5 gold.
Yes.
And she just kind of like lays it in your palm. Don't spend it all at once. Don't spend it all on food.
What if it's 5 gold for the food?
I doubt it's... If it's 5 gold for the food, come back here and don't buy it. That's a lot of money to spend on food, Kaiden.
Okay. If they say it's 4 gold, though, that's 4 gold. She only said 5.
4 gold, 9 silver.
Yeah.
So you head over, and this dwarven fellow looks up at you. You can't see his eyes because his eyebrows are so heavy, and it's like a long monobrow over the middle of his face. So it's just this big old, like, fuzzy white worm on his face.
Something.
He just looks up at you like, "Are you big ugly?"
Huh? Sorry. Are you selling? I'm sorry, I didn't catch
What
that.
do you want?
The food. Are you selling the food?
Yes, it's Western.
Is Wessa? Can I have 1 Wessa, please?
What's silver?
Yeah, that is Wessa. You said it's Wessa.
What's silver?
Silver.
That's his hand out.
I've only got gold. I'll put 1 gold.
You give him a gold, and he's like, "Here, here's change." And he just gives you like 9 silver as change.
Okay. Okay.
He turns around and he kind of scoops one of these toasties almost off of the grill. And as he places it in, like, it's like a little tissue that he gives to you. It's bloody hot. But you notice that the white stuff on the outside looks like spiderweb.
It's a spider web? Is there any spiders on it?
Enjoy.
Oh, is this web? Ooh, extra protein. Just eats it.
The webbing itself is like it was spun from sugar. It tastes like it's like French toast.
Okay.
But the webbing seems to be kind of a local thing. Given that this man does not look like he's from the surface.
Okay. I think Kaiden will just thank him and bimble back off to Sinza.
Didn't understand a word this dude was saying.
What? He's got 1 Wessa. He's calling it a Wessa now.
He's calling it a Wessa.
Because he thinks it's called a Wessa because that's what he heard.
Sinza, you just see Kaiden eating spiderwebs on a bit of bread.
It's a canon event. She can't do anything about it. He's got to learn on his own.
Gotta learn the hard way.
As Sinza's left on her own, would I be able to just like kind of tilt my head down to someone who's passing and just who can I speak to about the pilgrimage?
As you kind of tilt down, it seems like a local. They're dressed in this white, yellow robe that you've seen a lot of the Asmoths wearing, but this person is not an Asmoth. You assume probably a Domhan. And they inform you that Suzerain Omelio is the person you want to talk to. So the Suzerain is effectively the person in charge in Karvik.
Okay.
They're more of a religious leader than anything else, though.
Is it like we just go in and have a conversation, or do I have to book an appointment or something, or?
They're usually in the church.
Okay.
And they're usually free to talk to, unless they're talking to someone else, of course.
Yeah, Sinza just she just thanks them, and then turns her head to look up at Kaiden as he finishes his spiderweb pancake.
Everywhere.
As you guys begin to make your way back, Lyre and Ymir have stepped back out of the forge at this point. Ymir is covered head to toe in a thick hood, like a hooded cloak, trying not to be noticed. Whereas Lyre is now brandishing a new, very pretty looking black and silver trident.
Nice trident.
Thank you. It's surprisingly light.
Looks like it. So, there's a couple things we kind of stopped and had a look at. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to bit of sightseeing before we move on, or Ymir?
No.
I personally want to find a bookshop. There's a few things I want to research and find. But other than that, we can leave as soon as we'd like.
I did hear some mention of like a traveling library or traveling bookshop as we were kind of passing through, so that's something you wanted to go and see?
That would be fantastic.
Also, just for group knowledge, the borders to Sahonos are closed.
As in, no one comes in or out?
I don't want to make any assumptions, but if the borders are closed, then possibly, maybe letting people in low numbers.
We'll figure it out.
Just for general knowledge.
We'll keep it in the back of our minds. That's important information. Good work.
Thanks.
So, books?
I'm in my gas.
I'm in my gas.
Zani, we miss you. Come back.
You can go back and find her another day. Okay, so you're looking for the bookshop. Whoever's looking, roll me a perception check, please.
Books.
You wizard.
14.
14. You are full on the lookout. Dimpling through the crowded streets of Karvik. Not as crowded, half as crowded as Sahonos was, but it's still surprisingly busy. With a as I said, very diverse kind of community of people here. And you see this almost like caravan that is bright purple and green and yellow and red and every color, as you're kind of making your way down, with a big kind of wooden fence sign on the outside, with a picture of a book on it, which implies it's probably selling books. The caravan opens up at one side. Kind of little shelves are kind of pushed out on either window, with lines of little books. There aren't that many, but there are enough that it seems to be kitted out. And you see sat on a chair, reading with a monocle, is a goblin.
Oh no. This is gonna be chaos, isn't it, Toby?
Don't know, is it?
I don't know. Well, I'll approach the caravan and start rifling, like not touching, but looking through the books. I'm looking for anything that mentions warp. Anything that mentions the halo or the ring, and anything on different classes of magic outside the regular schools, like non-traditional magic.
Non-traditional magic. Okay. Roll me an investigation check, please.
I'm smart. I can do that. Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
That's not too bad actually. 16.
16. So you're able to find a book called The Ring in Layman's Terms, which has a map of the ring in it. Has a variety of different places that you were not aware of that were up there. There are effectively entire continents on the ring. Like, they are massive.
What?
It's almost a planet in itself.
What was the book called? Sorry.
The Ring in Layman's Terms.
Okay. So that's big.
It's big. It's big up there. There is a place up there called the Citadel, which is where the 𝘏𝘏𝘧𝘏𝘏𝘧𝘏, the big magic school that someone in your party attended,
I don't know
is
that.
up there. Is in the Citadel. Yes, you kind of do know that because.
Oh no! I mean, Perianne mentioned it.
She mentioned it. Yeah.
As you're doing that, this is Ymir in the background.
Anything on the other two subjects?
Warp, you find nothing you don't already know.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like warp isn't that well documented. Which is unfortunate. Maybe you're not looking in the right place. Who knows? Magic that is non-standard, I suppose. You're kind of scrubbing through, and a book catches your eye called the Amber Moor. It has the book itself looks almost like a grimoire, the way that it's laid out. But it is a book.
Yeah, pick it up.
You pick it up and you kind of start to flick through it. Pages are very thin parchment, almost like a Bible. It is beautifully put together. And it's talking about a group of people who use magic through by passing it through other objects. So using it as a conduit, using their weapons, their arcane focuses, whatever they have, as a conduit for magic, because they are not necessarily tethered to the weave itself. They act as a catalyst.
Okay, I'm going to grab that book and the Ring in Layman's Terms and walk up to the goblin.
Yes, hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm quite fine, thank you. How are you?
I am very well. I would like to purchase these two books from you today.
Yes, a good choice, And he kind of turns around, starts going through a look. He's a very scrungly looking goblin that, like, the concept of this voice coming out of him just doesn't suit him at all. He's just kind of going through his bag. That would be, let's say, 2.5 gold.
2.5 gold, that I can do. Do you have change for gold?
I do.
Perfect.
Not now, Kid and Whiskers.
Ugh.
The gun. Ymir's got a gun underneath her cloak.
The MM after 9 stands for magic missile.
Mundane magic missile.
Thank you. What was your name? Sorry.
𝘏𝘪𝘏𝘬𝘏𝘧𝘐𝘏.
𝘏𝘪𝘏𝘏?
Yes.
I am Lyre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure.
𝘏𝘪𝘏𝘏.
This is my bookshop, 𝘏𝘪𝘏𝘧𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏
Do you travel around the continent all over, or do
I'm
you
a
stay
far
to
traveler, yes, yes.
Well, I'll have to keep an eye out for you in the future.
My stock is always changing, so...
Beautiful. So, my interests. So that works perfectly.
I look forward to seeing you again, Mr. Lyre.
You too, Master 𝘏𝘪𝘨. Have a good day.
Have a good day. He goes back to reading whatever he's reading. You kind of look over his shoulder, and he's flicking through like a picture book.
A man of taste, I can tell.
The way he's looking at it, he's like, It's like stroking his beardless chin. Upsetting.
I'll head back over to the
group.
group.
The hungry caterpillar.
Why is he so hungry?
Oh my god. But I'll head back over to the group, hold on the 2 books, and just be like, okay, I have what I need. I'll look over to Ymir and say, I couldn't find anything on what we are working on, but I might just be looking in the wrong place. But
that's okay.
Lyre. You're carrying a couple of books with you already. Were any of those books on the gods, perhaps?
What?
Did you have any books on gods at all, or I can go see if they have any. But...
I don't much care for the gods, so I don't really hold anything on them.
Understood.
It's not out of the question that 𝘏𝘪𝘨 probably has a book on the Divine Order.
But if you go talk to that gentleman over there looking at the picture book rather intensely, his name is 𝘏𝘪𝘨. Very, very, very charming man. He might have something on it.
Licks his entire finger and then like swipes it across the page.
Oh boy.
Oh god. Jade, for the love of God, please.
He's just fucking mogging the whole time.
I'll look over at
mogging.
I'll look over at Kaiden and actually say, you know, he might have a book on rocks that you could check off as you collect your books, as you collect your rocks. It will tell you every kind of rock, and you can just tick them off.
Go straight.
If he can't read,
I'll teach him.
Pictures.
Yeah, picture book about rocks. Okay, so you two are heading over to see 𝘏𝘪𝘨, who is sat very intensely reading The Hungry Caterpillar.
Hi.
Hello.
You don't happen to have any books on the gods, more specifically 𝘏𝘪𝘨 and rocks, yeah.
And rocks, yeah.
I have a book on the Divine Order, if that helps. Perhaps some books. Oh, let me look in the back for the rocks. And he kind of climbs up over the back of his chair and starts scrambling into the caravan to go and find it. He's very undignified every time he moves, but when he talks, he seems to... He's just going through his things. But yeah, he passes Sinza a book called The Divine Order, which has a quite a short page on 𝘏𝘪𝘨. You'd expect there to be more, but it doesn't seem like it is particularly well documented, as only specific communities follow 𝘏𝘏𝘏. I will send that to your whispers, so you have that. He comes back with this very, very kind of chunky book and passes it to Kaiden. Kaiden, this is a picture book of every known rock on Sif. And it's on the front of it, it's Scythian geology. So it's very in-depth scientifically about each rock. But you're just pictures. Tick. You can tick them off as you go.
Open the book. Just go through
really, really nice sketches in here of different kinds of rock. Some of them are watercolor painted because they're different colors, so you can see the different colors on them. There's some in here that you recognize, and quite a lot that you don't. because it's not in your area of the world.
I assume there's nothing on the special magic rock we got from the
Nope.
big boulder.
You look through it, but you don't really know what you're looking for because, like, you're like, what is it called? You don't see any pink rocks. You don't see any pink rocks. You see pictures of these absolutely gigantic rocks called mountains.
I want to collect one of these. I want to get a mountain. I need that rock.
Sinza's face.
Her nose kind of scrunches up a little bit, and she looks to the goblin. How much for the book on rocks and the divine order?
3 gold for the rock book, and then the divine order could be 5 silver.
Sinza passes across the silver with her little talons, and then she turns to Kaiden. Kaiden, this is the perfect time for you to use currency. So I gave you 5 gold. How many do you hand the man?
I had 4 gold.
No.
3 gold.
Was it 3? 3? 3. This many. That many.
Alright. He hands him the gold. The 3 gold.
He takes it. So 3 gold and 5 silver. And he smiles at you with this kind of wrinkly goblin face and these sharp little goblin teeth. And he's like, yes, well, I do hope you'll come back to Blorbo's Curiosities at some point.
I'm sure we will. Thank you, Glorbo. Sinza turns on a heel and walks back to the group.
While they're at the cart and shopping, Lyre's gonna sort of like nudge Ymir, just playfully, and sort of look at her and say, Ymir, I can tell you're nervous. You can relax.
So relaxed. I'm feeling it right now.
Ymir, look around. This place is beautiful. There's so much here.
You may make me a perception check. You're going to be based on hearing, so it'll be a flat check. Babushka Ymir can't hurt you. Babushka Ymir.
Ymir looks at the fucking...
wouldn't be so sad if you're not so poor. Let me take a look at my character sheet. That will be 19.
19, okay. As you're taking in the surroundings that Lyre's pointing out to you, you hear someone say your name in hushed whispers. Someone mentions Duskweaver as they walk past you. Not necessarily you've made a name for yourself, but your family are well enough known. And you being here isn't a common occurrence. Oh god, here we go. Babushka Ymir.
Ymir's just gonna be like,
oh, the real Ymir, please stand up.
Be like, wow, Lyre, look at all of the beautiful things. It's so nice. She's gonna like glance over in the direction where she heard Duskweaver from, look very unsuspiciously and turn back. I did my looking for the day.
What's happened here, Ymir, to make you so cautious to be here?
Oh, for one, I just don't like being here in general. I want to save my people, but look at it this way. It's like being around people who are going to die anyway. It's like being in the equivalent of a morgue.
Is that how you look at us?
No, based on our adventurers, you guys are going to live forever at this rate. You especially.
Ymir, if you want to talk, I will listen. Not here, but when you need to. You can't hide behind walls forever. You gotta open your arms.
I mean, I guess. But I assure you, Lyre, everything is fine. My parent are a big deal in this place, I guess. Don't worry about me. I'm just some rich schoolgirl in the big city.
Well, you have us now. So, if anyone gives you trouble, or if you need to leave, you and I can wait on the outskirts. We'll be okay.
It's fine. What's the worst that could happen?
It's us. Literally anything could happen.
You're right. We should probably leave as soon as possible.
No troll caves.
What if there's lots of money?
No troll caves.
Okay.
Lyre will wrap his arm around Ymir and pull her in for a little side hug and just say, "We'll keep you safe. We got you."
It is I who will be keeping all of you safe.
Yes, we get it. You're so powerful and strong.
It is much more than that, but sure.
Okay.
And I pull a gun out of my pocket.
Oh my god.
I pull a shotgun.
So, by this point, Kaiden and Sinza have returned with their books. Kaiden now has this big fuck off geology book.
I have never been so proud of you in my life.
I can't read.
Oh. I can't read half of it.
That's fine. We can teach you.
Oh, that would be great. That would really help.
I have a question, Tim. With how big that book is, could it be used as an improvised weapon?
Potentially, yes.
Okay. So.
You just fucking love it, someone and kill him.
My book, no.
Okay.
So, quick one. Do we want to find someone to talk about the pilgrimage? I overheard someone's name, the Suzerain? Suzerain? Might be able to help us. So they're at a church nearby, possibly?
Yeah, let's go to church. It's a good idea.
Suzerain Omelio.
Yeah, I'm all ready to go. Let's do it.
So as you walk up the path, most of this path is spreads off into lots of little alleyways between tents and caravans and variety of other things. But there is as you walk in, a long kind of straight, quite wide path up to a very large tent in the center of Kavik. That seems to have been set up there for quite some time. It's had a permanent fixture here. It's been patched up in a few places. It's beautiful. It's large with sort of a golden blue embellishment on the outside, and 2 guards standing by the doorway. But the doorway is open, and the guards kind of greet you as you make your way toward it. As you walk inside, you're met with this large kind of archway of wood, mostly. It looks like it's been carved out, with a figure standing holding a warhammer with this kind of non-human face. It's this kind of blank, almost like a mask over her figure. This feminine figure with a warhammer stood in the archway. It seems like a temple. There is a lot of kind of blue pillows everywhere. There's herbs, there's lavender scattered. There's pews set up for people to come and pray. There's a few bookshelves and a large kind of arcanist table in one corner of the room. People are kind of milling about or sat in prayer. And there is this dark-skinned, kind of dark-haired Asimov stood at the front behind this kind of central reservation, thumbing over a book using his fingers, as if he's reading from it without looking at the book. But his head tilts up as you walk in. He doesn't quite look at you, as Asimoths never really do quite look at you. But they look in your direction, and there is a kind of a gentle smile. He looks maybe in his late 40s, early 50s. So quite old for an Asimov. Dressed in very similar kind of robes, these yellow and blue robes that most of the Asimoths seem to be wearing.
Hi. Sorry, I hope we're not intruding on anything.
Not at all. It's nice to have our visitors, and familiar faces. He looks at Ymir.
Sinza looks past her shoulder and down at Ymir, and then looks back up. You know Ymir?
I know Ymir and her family.
And her family? You don't say. Sinza again looks down at Ymir. I'm hoping you can assist us. We're looking to participate in the pilgrimage.
He frowns a little. Omelio kind of closes the book. Interesting. We don't usually get people who are not part of this community being interested in taking part in this pilgrimage. Is there a reason?
Lyre?
I need it.
He looks at you almost a little startled with how intensely you came across. It's like, you need it.
Have you ever had something in your life that meant everything to you, and then it was taken away?
There's this look of recognition on Omelio's face. You need healing.
Of sorts.
Not physical healing, but you need healing.
I need to be whole again.
He nods, as if he understands that. He understands where you're coming from and what you're talking about. I assume you heard this pilgrimage from... He kind of looks at Ymir.
No. We learned of it from I forget their name, but they were a follower of a Fey god. They traded knowledge for secrets.
His back straightens. Interesting. And you intend to use this knowledge for
selfish
becoming
gain.
whole? I think to want to be whole is not selfish. I think that is mortal.
There are multiple reasons I wish to go to the Ridge. One is to become whole, and two is to create something to help myself and my friends.
Those goals do not align. You're going to the wrong place for one of them. You'll be in a similar area, but not the right place.
I was told of a dwarf who lives in an obelisk. He helps create magical items.
The chosen of Dheltan.
Right.
He gestures behind him to the figure that is carved in the wood. The Lady of Order picks a mortal to be her chosen every few 100 years, depending on how long they live. And they wield this hammer, the Hammer of Judgment. He was the wielder of that until he died. And he was not her chosen for long. He did not have long to live when he was chosen.
Are you her chosen now?
No. She has not picked one. Which is unlike her. It's been over 100 years.
How is your judge of character?
I like to think at my age, pretty good.
I'm assuming, and this is assuming, with this pilgrimage, you decide whether or not people are worthy to take it or not. Am I correct?
I do not decide. She does.
She does. How do I speak to her?
I think Ymir, as you hear Lyre say that, you know how this works. So, Asmoths quite commonly take a drug that allows them to commune with the Divine Order. In some sense. It only really works for Asmoths in terms of how clear that communication is, but you can do it with people who aren't. It's very unlikely to go the same way. He pulls from his waist a small white flower in a jar. And shows it to you, Lyre. Do you understand what astral projection is?
I have an understanding of it. I've never practiced it.
You're going to. Would you like to go alone, or would you like people to be with you?
He'll sort of turn back to the group. Maybe one. Any of them I trust. Who's comfortable coming to talk to a god?
Ymir gonna step forward. Don't worry. I got you. I'll make sure you don't say anything too offensive to a god.
Are you sure you have the headspace for this?
I'm going to be honest with you, Lyre. Any place is better than here.
Then let's go talk to a god.
Okay.
It's nice on you guys. I'm gonna fight a god. I'm gonna piss
he
off a god.
offers for you to come and sit on the pillows that are sat underneath this statue. And it gestures for both like Kaiden and Sinza to do so as well if they'd like to rest. They are very kind of plush pillows that they've probably been sat on many, many times by many different people. They seem to have been washed regularly, so they're a bit faded in terms of their colour. They're not as blue as they used to be. But you take a seat, and Omelio starts like using a mortar and pestle to grind this flour up into a paste. Puts a few other small kind of little bits into it. Turns back to you and offers you the pestle. It says, put this under your tongue and just wait.
Okay.
Take a scoop of it, place it under your tongue. It's bitter. Not overwhelmingly so. It's just kind of like, it's a weird texture to hold under your tongue as it disseminates. Ymir, same goes for you. You've done this before, Ymir, so this isn't entirely out of your remit. It's been many years since you've done this, but is, it's not super out there.
I'm gonna reach out and grab Ymir's hand and just hold it. Ymir, he's shaking.
Ymir's gonna whisper, "Don't worry. It's not that bad."
It might be.
Shit. We're going on a trip on the first time and you're telling him, don't freak out, you fucking asshole.
And with that, we're going to take a quick break because I need to organise something whilst we do that.
Yeah.
So see you in a bit. Getting back into it. The first thing that Kaiden and Sinza see is that Ymir and Lyre kind of begin to lean back into these pillows. Their eyes are huge, like just staring into the sky. Omelio has sat kind of in front of them and is looking in your direction. They'll be fine. It will wear off within maybe about 20 minutes. It's not a particularly long high, but it will be enough for them to talk and for Dheltan to judge. You understand that if you are traveling this pilgrimage too, that you are going to be judged as well.
No, I didn't know that.
In
Wait, who's judging us?
Not just this one. The Lady of Order.
Oh.
But I haven't committed any crimes. So
it's not necessarily based on crime that you've done. It's more a judge of your character, whether you are worthy to go down this path, whether or not the gods deem you to be safe to travel this path.
Safe?
Some people will travel paths of the divine for self-gain. Dangerous self-gain.
So this is a spiritual, holy pilgrimage, I guess?
Yes, you'd be traveling, I assume you knew, but you'll be traveling to a site in the Asus Ridge that has been carved out by a city of dwarves many years ago, in reveration of the Divine Seven and all of their children.
Right. So it's a place to speak to other gods?
It is a place to be noticed by them. Whether they speak to you is their prerogative.
Sinza side-eyes Kaiden. She's thinking a little bit on very similar experience that she shared with him. Right. Mm-hmm.
But if I've already travelled the path to the ridge, doesn't that mean it's already a safe path?
It is. I think you're taking this too literally, my friend. I do not know how to explain it. It is a spiritual journey.
DM's gonna DM.
Find
We're really no. It's gonna hit us with knowledge.
Books.
No.
It's on page 203.
I think it's 37.
Shut up. Yeah, no, he just tells you it's a spiritual journey and doesn't really know how to explain it until you're on it.
Kaiden, it may be similar to the experience that we had in that other grove. Possibly?
Oh, I don't want to go through that again. That wasn't fun.
It may not be as terrifying as that experience was, but something along those lines. A test of our nature, of our will.
Well, as long as I don't have to see the other version of me again, or have my organs feel like they're being ripped out.
You pull. Omelio pulls a bit of a face. Ymir and Lyre, it feels like you have been ripped out of your body, because you're now on the ceiling looking down at yourselves. You can see each other, but you are now above and looking down and slowly passing through the ceiling. You can see Sinza and Kaiden talking, but you can't hear them. You can see Omelio talking, you can't hear him. You're watching as people begin to kind of fade away from your consciousness. Lyre, you are this fiery orange spirit. This beautiful kind of orange and blue tinted figure that's somewhat see-through as you're kind of looking at yourself in this astral projection. Ymir, you are this golden light with a deep, dark purple void in the center of your chest. as you begin to move away and into this dark space, you're met with a vision of stars. This deep and distant nothingness. Before a bright, sort of white gold light appears distantly from you. An aspect. You feel a presence, but you see no one. And it seems to be waiting for you to speak.
Should I go first, Ymir, or is there something you want to say?
You go first. I'll be right behind you. You got this.
I'll, if I can, astral projecting, I will float forward a little bit, just so I feel like I'm in its full range and aspect, and just sort of look up and around to this light and say, my name is Lyre. I am a gnome mage, born and raised in the city of 𝘞𝘦𝘭𝘥. And I come here today to gain your blessing to travel to the Asus Ridge. And I'll sort of just look out to see if there's any retort.
I know who you are, Vi of Asus. Why do you seek power?
I was born into a world blessed with beauty and unlimited magic. And I was cursed by one of your kin to never experience it. I grew up in a city dedicated to it, watching those gifted, born into it, use it recklessly, not acknowledging its beauty, using it to show off rather than dedicate to its craft. I was forgotten by your kin, left out in the dust, not worthy enough for it. I hate all of you. None of you ever reached out to me, though I begged you every day. So I took it upon myself. One day, I will do what is deemed impossible. I will connect to the weave without any of you. And you will see I am not another mortal. I am not one of your children. I am your kin. Abandoned, abolished, forgotten.
You were not abandoned. You were ignored. Do not make that mistake with me, Vi. You removed your teeth because you wanted to remain kind despite your anger. But you are now the most ruthless you have ever been. You seek power. so you may overthrow my brother. Would you do that of your kin?
The old me wanted to do that. I will not deny that. I was raised to believe that someone in my community would take his place and fix the wrongs he had. But I've learned I can do more. I don't want power to take his place. I want power to separate the parasite in this world. My friend is afflicted with warp. Something that has never been broken. Something that was welcomed into this world by God knows what.
Duskweaver made her choice.
To save a friend.
But she made that choice. She was born of order and is poisoned by chaos. But both must live in equilibrium in order for the world to function. She could not deem herself to be only that of order. That was not written into her pattern. She made this choice. This is how fate deemed it. And this is the path she walks. That is not your choice to make.
Then what's of my fate? Was I destined to take the place? Was I destined to be cursed by an angel of a din? Or did I change that?
At least being an instrument meant you were being held.
Did I change that fate? Or did you have something to do with it? Or any of your kin?
I do not choose fate. You have certainly changed fate. Whether or not it was yours, we are yet to see.
I know I am arrogant. I know I can be childish. I know I can be obsessive. I know I was ignored. But in that ignorance, I became one of the most ambitious mortals you will ever encounter. And I dare you to give me the chance to show that. Let me do what you all deem impossible. Let me help. Let me prove myself. You call me a Vi of Asus. I can accept that. But I am so much more. And with your help or without it, I will find a way. I promise.
Fine. Prove the divine that you are above this, and embrace your end with your arms outstretched, so that your oblivion is one that you chose.
Deal.
You feel in this space no ire. You don't feel hatred in the way that Dheltan speaks to you. You feel challenge. You feel like Dheltan knows what you're capable of and wants to see it. There's almost a level of excitement in the way that they are addressing you, because they want to see something change. Because order and chaos come as a pair. You are chaos, and she wants to see the change. Something needs to change. But you you can tell that there is a level of something that's like, ooh, you got some fucking sass to you. But the rest of her is excited to see it happen. You don't feel oppressed here. You feel as though something is trying to lift you up to give you that opportunity. But she's putting on this face for the rest of the Divine that would be aggressive towards you at this action, that would see your challenge as a threat. She's putting on this persona. She's being honest with you, as honesty is part of Dheltan's being. But she is very much holding her head high the way that you would expect someone of the Divine to do so.
As Lyre sort of retreats back, he'll stop for a second and just look to the aura, I guess, and just say, I mean this with the most respect I can muster. But tell your brother, this was his doing. And I will retreat back.
I'm sure he already knows. Duskweaver, move forward.
Fuck. You got this.
Yeah, Ymir is gonna go forward.
The somewhat sorry image of Ymir as she steps before her former god is golden and tainted. And you, unlike Lyre, feel eyes on you. Did you forget your path?
I didn't forget. I walked
This I
away
doubt.
from it. What'd you say? Sorry, God? Sorry, God-sama? Say that.
This I doubt.
I did.
What drew you away?
This gift all 𝘏𝘏𝘧 have been given. The ability to see death. Many of my people find solace in it. But our lives, our existence, so short, so fragile. I thought that when loss came for those that I love, that I would be able to handle it. As it is the purpose of an 𝘏𝘏𝘧 to live their life for as long as they can. But when my dumb hand died, it was nothing more than a machine. It was nothing more than parts. That was my life. And something changed for me there. I tried to save my people, and the part of me, I'm still trying to do that. But I refuse to accept death for what it is. I refuse to bear witness to the inevitable end. More time.
If I could give you more time, I would. If it were my choice, I would. If it were my choice whether Ingram lived or died, I would have let him live. But he died in service to you. Because that is what he was built for. Warforged are strange creatures. Not quite with a soul, but enough of a soul that what pieces of him you wear, you carry with you. And what pieces of him made it to me are with me. I am sorry. Your path is already chosen. It may not take you down a route I would have wanted, but in the end, mortals are never quite what you wanted. They make their own choices. Choice is human nature. But please, promise me, my child, do not let the knife guide your hand.
Don't be sorry. I was prepared from the very beginning. Whatever the path is, no matter how painful.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
From the outside, Lyre, you see this light pass towards Ymir, and Ymir, it feels as though you are receiving a hug from a motherly figure. Like a very gentle, comforting embrace. And it's short but warm. I forgive you. Even if this is your path, know that I will still watch over you. Even if your power is not from me.
Know that I never stopped appreciating you.
this, I doubt.
Just smiles.
The two of you begin to pull back. And out of this darkness and back through the ceiling and back into yourselves, and your limbs all kind of feel kind of staticky and numb as you're beginning to kind of blink back into your body, your physical body. Kaiden and Sinza, you're watching as these two are starting to come to, and Omelio kind of turns his head. They seem to be coming back. I hope it went well.
How'd it go? Did you talk to a god? How was that?
You see a very wide smile on Lyre.
Is it that unsettling one, or is it a good one?
No, this is like oh, he's genuinely happy.
So it went well.
I challenged a god, and they welcomed it.
That's good, I guess.
You have no idea.
Ymir, how are you feeling?
I'm okay.
Can you make an insight check, please?
Jade. Just fuck!
God damn it, Sinza. Insight. 19.
She's not okay.
You feel Sinza's warm palm kind of rest on your shoulder, and she kind of thumbs across just a little bit. It's like a comfort. We'll talk about it, okay? If you want to.
Mm-hmm.
We were accepted. We can take the pilgrimage.
So she tells me. He goes under the kind of front desk, I guess. I don't know the word for it. And begins to rummage through and passes you a very small map that has the pilgrimage labelled on it, so that you know where you're going. It's a kind of a short distance between 𝘏𝘪𝘧𝘵 and the Asus Ridge, and which path to take that is safest for Asamoths to travel. Considering most people who take this pilgrimage are very hard of seeing, so it would need to be a relatively safe path just in case. But Omelio does warn you the path is not entirely safe. But you look like you can handle yourselves. I don't see it being an issue.
Like, bandits or monsters unsafe?
Both. If you're unlucky, for the most part it is safe. It is a path. You're not traveling through the jungle. But you can never be sure.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to get lost in a jungle, would we, Kaiden?
No. It's good thing I know the way, you know.
No.
No.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Ymir, Omelio will kneel down next to you as you're starting to get your bearings, and he will offer a handout to you.
She'll take it.
We did not forget about you. It is good to see you.
I wish I could say the same about myself.
There's
But I'll be okay.
a faint look of understanding. Like, he seems to understand where you're coming from, even if it saddens him. I hope one day you will feel at home here again. Truly.
She'll nod.
Dheltan be with you. He will kind of press your knuckles against his forehead as a blessing. If you wish to stay here, there is tavern isn't quite the right word. Inn, I suppose. Not too far into 𝘏𝘮𝑉𝑖𝑘. But if you wish to stay outside of the city, that is understandable.
We appreciate it greatly. Thank you.
If you have further questions, you may seek me out.
Thank you.
Out of curiosity, Omelio's attitude towards me?
Roll me an insight check.
Yeah, thank you. Because I just shit-talked his god for a hot minute, so... Hey, that's actually really good. Insight +4, apparently. 17.
17. He seems to be somewhat avoiding you. He's not looking in your direction, or actively attempting to not. But he does occasionally look towards you, and you get the feeling that it's a similar feeling to how you felt with Dheltan when Dheltan was talking to you. It's you are a divine challenger.
That's kind of cool.
And that's rare. That is rare, and he doesn't know how to process that. It's very rarely that someone would actively fight against the gods as actual physical concepts than simply being an atheist or, along the lines of just not believing in them. It's very rare you get someone who is actively trying to outrun them. And he's never experienced that in all his 50-something years. He's coming to the end of his life, and he's never met someone like you. Doesn't know how to deal with it.
First for everything, I guess. So, are we all able to take this pilgrimage now?
Yes, you have been deemed a worthy party.
Good.
Do you have a name? Is that or are you just...
Well, I'm Kaiden.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I have an idea, guys. Super awesome, cool guys. Sack, for sure.
I like that. Sack has a nice ring to it. I like Sack.
No, we don't have a name.
Pull a face.
We'll workshop it.
We don't have a name.
You don't have a name.
Something to think about, though.
Super. All right, Sack. Let's move out.
Omelio pulls a face every time you say it. As you begin to head out of the church. Lyre and Ymir, you're a bit wobbly on your feet for a little bit whilst you're adjusting to having a physical form again. This is new, but you're getting there.
Hey, big man, can I have a piggyback?
Yeah.
Do you also wish to be carried, Ymir?
Listen, since I am a independent asthmat in the big city, I don't need help from.
Sinza just scoops and princess carries.
Toby, out of curiosity, just so I know in game and I don't matter, did I hear the conversation between the Lady of Order and Ymir, and vice versa? Did Ymir hear my conversation with her?
Yes, both of you would have heard both conversations.
Okay.
Are we going to the tavern, kids, or are we going to the outskirts of the woods? Do we want a warm meal or Kaiden gruel?
Let's go get tavern.
Kaiden, I make some good food, okay?
You spiked me. I have trust issues now. I saw it.
That was not on purpose.
Do you know what I saw, Kaiden? Do you know what I saw in my trip?
The stars, you were on your back.
I saw some mechanical bear trying to communicate with me.
On second thought, I kind of do want to try Kaiden's
tavern.
Again. Tavern, okay.
Okay, so you it doesn't take you long to find it because it is more. It looks like one of the more permanent structures that is in Karvik. One of the buildings rather than tents. It is more of like a small outbuilding as a reception, and then a series of caravans as the rooms. And the caravans are open for hire. So you can take them as a traveling unit if you wanted to. They're quite large, comfortable but not plush. Like they're not like rich kind of caravans, but it's certainly more comfortable than you sleeping and breaking it out in the woods. The tavern itself is called the Closed U. As you kind of make your way in. U is in like a tree, like W-E.
Oh, I thought you meant the letter. I was like, you mean an O? Oh, like
no, it's an O. It's a closed U.
Closed U.
Dex, I'm right there with you.
And you make your way inside, and there is a kind of a tall, half-elven figure, sort of long, dark brown hair, kind of warm tone, olive skin, who smiles at you as you walk in.
Hi.
Hi, would you like to get any room?
We're looking for a room and a bit of food.
Four?
Yeah.
4. Room is, and he seems to be struggling to speak common, like as if it's not his first language. Room is 3 golds.
Oh.
For all of you. Yes?
Yeah. Lyre will reach in and pull out 3 gold and hanging off of Kaiden, just like hold it over.
I bring you food. Yes?
Thank you.
And he smiles. It seems like he's got quite a thick Elvish accent. He seems to speak Elvish more than he does common. So he's kind of making his way through. You can see his little books are all written in Elvish. It's just these very beautiful, like, what's it called? Cursive. In Elvish cursive. And he's kind of rummaging through, writes it down, and then gestures for you to follow him as he takes you out the back towards the caravans. And you're brought to this very large, enough to accommodate 4 adults, caravan. That has a sort of a small seating area, a front seating area for where you could take this caravan and like take it off somewhere. You need a mount, but you could take it somewhere. And it's got 4 small separate bedrooms.
Toby, this is a really cool inn, I guess, but this is fucking cool. Like, sorry, this is awesome. Like,
Just one night, yes.
one night, yes.
Enjoy.
Thank
He
you.
smiles and gives you a thumbs up.
Oh wait, I got this. Yeah, Ymir speaks Elvish. I forgot. I looked at it, she's just watching. She's like, oh shit. And she's gonna say thank you. To say thank you in Elvish.
He seems to relax a lot as you speak to him in Elvish. He was like,
Melon.
"Oh, good. I'm like, if you need anything, just come and find me."
And she'll also respond in Elvish. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just showing the tourists around.
Sorry if my common isn't very good.
It's okay. Half the time, I'm pretty sure these guys don't even speak common anyway.
And you see him kind of laughing at something that Ymir has said, before passing you a key to the side of this caravan, and saying, if you would like a mount to travel with this caravan in the coming days, let me know, and I can organize something for you.
Thank you. I have one for right now, but I'll make sure to check later. She says in Elvish.
He says to you that he has 3 more bounders that are available for hire.
4 bounders.
That's dangerous.
4 bounders.
No, Kaiden, no.
You fucking panther, I won.
Why is it so cute?
You next to a fish-eyed fucking savage beast? No. Like,
Yeah.
Get Kaiden a pet.
Kaiden
He
doesn't know.
leads you to it.
This was Elvish. Like,
Yeah, he leaves you to it, and you have this little caravan to yourselves for the night.
well, this is nice. I think this is the first time we've sort of stopped in a while.
That wasn't in the jungle anyway.
Yeah, wasn't lost in a forest.
I wouldn't use that word, but...
A jungle, my apologies.
A strategic detour, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Right, well, how about we all take an hour or two and just sort of decompress in our own spaces? And what if we come together for dinner and actually, like, talk about what we want from the Ridge? And just sort of future plans. I feel like we're all got a lot going on right now.
That would be good. I was planning on some point having a conversation. So, yeah, that'd be good.
Ymir?
Are all of you staying in the caravan, or is there anyone going out and about?
Kaiden's probably going to go out.
I'm chilling in my room.
I would like to wander with Kaiden.
Okay.
Little wonder.
Ymir?
I need better equipment. I'm gonna go look around, but I'm still gonna be hiding.
Join us on the wander. Join us.
So Lyre's going to go and rest while the 3 of you are going bimbling around.
He's gonna start reading through that new book you got.
Yeah. We'll start with that then, before the 3 of you head off. Lyre, as you're starting to go through that book, I believe about the Amber Moor.
Yes.
You're kind of bimbling through it. Really lovely book. Like, this is not your average print. This was handwritten. You don't know who handwrote it or when. Excuse me. But as you're reading through it, you're like reading about this community of people. It's a very small community who are scattered across Sif, who follow by the sounds of it, they use like these tools / weapons like yours, like a tethered weapon that allows you to act as a catalyst of magic rather than being innately able to use it. You're effectively using the weapon to tether between the weave, have the weapon, and produce it rather than you producing it. And they are known as blade singers.
Interesting. Okay.
They sing to the weave, and then their weapons create magic.
Is there any runes or like diagrams or patterns or anything in these books?
There's a couple. There's one that seems to be a sigil of the blade singer. The sort of a sword with a magic circle engraved around the outside of it, using a series of sigils that you recognize from your average kind of schools of magic. A lot of them tend to follow evocation, but not all of them. And some of the sigils may change depending on the person's school of magic. So if they go down a specific school, those runes will be based on the school that they follow. But overall, the sigil doesn't change much, so you'd be able to recognize it if you saw it out in the wild.
Okay. Do I have... I have a Tinker's Tool thing.
Yeah.
Is there like a... I guess a chisel or something in it?
Yeah, there would be, yeah.
I have a sapphire in the top of this trident, all right?
Yeah.
I'm going to place the trident down on the table, and I'm going to etch the sword symbol to where the hilt of it connects to the sapphire.
Are you proficient with these tools?
Nah.
Okay. Then it's going to be a sleight of hand check.
Let's do it! +1. 15.
Okay. It's going to take you some time, but you are going to be able to do
That's
it.
fine.
So whilst you're resting, reading, the rest of the party are heading out off into Karvik to go and bimble and find things and whatnot. I need everyone other than Lyre to make me a perception check then, please.
That's terrifying.
Natural 20.
Nat 20.
14.
14.
24.
16, 24, and a 14. So, Ymir, I think you're more focused on not being seen, or at least not being perceived by people that wouldn't be able to see you. The Azimuths are going to recognize you, but the rest of Karvik won't, if you are well covered enough, so you're kind of focused on keeping your hood up. Sinza and Kaiden especially, as you're making your way down one of the pathways with Ymir and Tyre, you see a group of people dressed in these robes. Some of them are armored with these robes underneath the armor, so they've got like kind of plate and gorget over the shoulders, almost like a group of clerics. And they look like clerics. They're like quite heavily armored. They've got amulets on. They seem to be following, kind of talking amongst themselves, with a Domhan at the front, who is dressed in a very similar fashion in sort of this kind of clericy gear with a long cloak on. And you hear them talking about traveling to Sihonos as an aid caravan. Because Sihonos has requested aid.
Sinza, I think, acts quite casual as we're passing, and then her ears prick as she hears mention of Sihonos, and she kind of throws her head over her shoulder and almost has this like concerned look in her eyes. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be listening in on your conversation. I overheard that you're heading to Sihonos. I thought the borders had been closed.
Oh, they have, but they've requested aid from Karvik. They need Asmos.
Oh, Sorry, you clerics of sort. I have family there. Sorry, I'm just slightly concerned.
Do not worry. We will do everything in our power to make sure they are okay. From what I hear, it is an outbreak of a disease of some kind. We should be fine. We are protected. And they show you these little amulets. You can roll me an Arcana check if you'd like.
Yes, please. I'm going to use my inspiration, please.
The babushka.
26.
Arcana.
Oh.
16 again.
16, 26. Both of you, like Ymir, you kind of overheard Sinza talking, and you turn around. The two of you recognize this amulet as it's something imbued with magic. It is an amulet of protection of disease. So they are protected. They're not fully protected, but they have a higher chance of remaining safe whilst they are there. A series of healers traveling beyond the borders. And they all seem pretty welcoming to talk to you. Like, they don't seem like they're hiding anything. You said you have family there. Is there somebody you'd like me to look out for?
If you could stop into a tavern, is it the leaky tap or something like that? I forget the name of the tavern.
Last Drop.
The Last Drop, yes. If you could stop into the Last Drop and just let the patrons know there that the Sinza, Kaiden, and Ymir are well, and Lyre. That would mean a lot to me, thank you.
I can do that. And she kind of smiles at you. We'll make sure that whatever this illness is, it is dealt with quickly, okay?
Do you have any idea of what it might be?
We're not sure. We have not been told many details. The mayor just put out a call to neighboring cities for aid.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
And she smiles, and the sort of team of clerics begins to wander off again.
Sinza looks to Kaiden. There's a bit of concern in her eyes, especially after everything all the happenings that did happen in Sohonos. And she just kind of makes her way through.
What are each of you looking for in particular?
I'm looking to find some better armor.
Better armor, okay. Do you want to replace your armor?
Well, not all of it, but enough to where, like, bitches can't
You can
hurt
replace,
me
like,
no
your
more.
gambeson so that you're a little less, not protected in the middle.
Yes.
Okay. Kaiden, is there anything you're looking for in particular?
I think he's just fiddling around with them, and just seeing if he spots anything he hasn't seen before.
Okay. Ooh. Just a second while I look something up. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So you're kind of just looking for whatever, just something that will kind of catch your attention, sort of situation. And Ymir is looking for armor. Sinza, are you looking for anything in particular?
I'm looking for a building or a shop that looks like it's been there for a while.
Okay. The inn is probably one of the only buildings in Karvik. There are a couple of places that look like they have kind of like the pegs are so sunken into the ground, they've been there a while. There's a lot of foot traffic in front of certain stores. It's going to be things like traveling equipment, fabrics, variety of different bits and bobs, shiny clothing, potions, ingredients, cheese. There's a cheesemongers that you heard people talking about earlier. A wheel of cheese that is probably up to your hip in how big it is. It is big wheel of cheese. Stuff like that. You are able to find somebody who is selling sort of miscellaneous pieces of equipment, adventuring equipment. And there is a suit of armor that looks a little bit dinged up, sat on the back of on a stand in the back of this little tent. It's got some kind of gold filigree over the front of it. It's kind of a dark steel plate, chest plate mostly, potentially half plate, but it looks quite high quality.
Sinza's gonna, I think, stop in front of the store, and has Ymir mentioned to Sinza that she's looking to kind of like improve her armor, I guess?
I just think that Ymir's not even saying anything. She's just like doing the whole little like. Because it's not a matter whether or not she finds the armor or not. She just wants an excuse to look around. So, no, she doesn't say anything.
No.
She might whisper, like, looking for armor, no armor, just dead people. Okay, look for armor, just dead people.
Ymir.
What?
She kind of gestures a hand out towards the armor. Does that look like something that you're after?
She can't see it.
Fuck me. I fucking always...
Wow. You're right. Wow. How did I not see that before?
I apologize, Ymir. There is a very lovely... I don't want to say suit, but there's like some armor that maybe you might like. She kind of explains out to Ymir what it looks like.
The shopkeeper offers for you to kind of run your hands over it so that you can get a picture of what it looks like.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
As you place your hand on it, it's warm. There is something enchanted about this metal. Can I help you?
There is something special about this armor. What is it?
It's resistant to fire.
I'm resistant to fire.
You can be wearing it.
But am I not resistant to fire? That's my thing.
You might be, yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't.
Yeah, you resist fire damage while wearing heavy armor.
Dude's just trying to make a sale, Jade.
Can I get double? Can I be immune to fire?
No, you can't be immune to fire.
Fuck! I was gonna light myself on fire and throw myself at the nearest enemy. Is that
throw yourself in lava?
That is really cool.
I have other enchanted pieces if you're interested.
Oh, I'm a big fan of enchanted pieces. You see, I do a lot of armor work myself sometimes. Yeah, what do you have that I can feel?
First, do you have a heavy pocket?
I have a heavy pocket. Let me check.
This
so
cocky
you currently
bitch.
have 55 platinum and 133 gold.
So it's like 680 gold pieces.
600. Yeah, about 680.
How heavy are we talking?
Yeah. Depends. If you're just buying the breastplate rather than the full suit, then because I mean you look pretty kitted already.
Oh, thank you. Made it myself. Well, no, technically not. It came pre-built. Anyways, yes.
Oh god.
Oh, Mom. Oh no.
It was a kit.
It was a kit. Yeah, it was. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'll take a look at the others.
He shows you a kind of a almost like a dark bronzed breastplate that you can run your hands over. Again, it's quite warm, and says that this is a breastplate that is resistant to force damage.
Okay. So, I currently have chainmail and I have a shield. Is there any armor that could increase my AC by 1 more?
Not here, no.
Just gonna.
You'd have to go somewhere more specialist.
I'm just gonna look over it. Like, you know what? Thank you. I will window shop this because I see that this. I feel that this is very good material stuff, and I like what you're selling. What was your name?
Dog.
Vanson, it's a pleasure.
Vanson, pleasure to meet you, Vanson. I'll remember that name since I remember that name. I will.
Vanson.
It was good doing business with you.
You kind of babushka up before you're leaving the tent again. Sure, feel free to come back anytime.
Sorry, it was Vanson, I'm sorry.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. You seem like a well-traveled fella, I guess.
Just about.
Don't do this to me.
Oh my god, that's Lothric's voice.
Yes.
Oh my god. You bastard. You fuck. I was wondering, I'm like, why the fuck is Sinza acting up? Oh no, it's just Lab.
It's just Lab. The Lab is acting up.
You are weak.
I am. I'm a weak, pious woman.
Well.
I just
Pious my ass.
Sinza is gonna pull a little notebook from her pouch and she lays it out on the table and opens it to a page with a sigil. And it's a sigil of the Kindred of Ash. Have you seen anyone pass through in your travels wearing this sigil?
Let me roll a history check.
Come on, Vincent, don't fuck me.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Traveling people.
Yeah, I was set up in the
𝘏𝘪𝘨,
or the ruins of. So very far to the west from here.
Mm-hmm. You don't happen to
sometimes you see it on the buildings.
Like graffiti?
Yeah.
Interesting. There wasn't a man with the name Miras traveling with them at all? Casual introductions?
The name doesn't ring a bell. Sorry, darling.
I appreciate the information. Thank you.
Maybe if you travel west, you'll find out more than I know. I ain't been there in a long time. Well, if they're hanging around that area, surely you'd want to travel up there. It's gonna be one hell of a trek, though.
I've been told.
He nods. Sorry, I couldn't be more help.
No, you were helpful. I appreciate it. Thank you. Anything you see that you like, Kaiden?
I don't really wear bulky bits of metal. So
It's a nice looking green cloak with some furs over the top of it.
You are weak.
No, it's fine. I don't have money for this stuff anyway. Right.
He notices you looking. He's like, "Do you want to try it on?" He passes it to you. It's got kind of a fur collar to it. It's a natural fur. It seems as though it was. He ensures you it was ethically sourced. As the inside of the cloak, as you put it on, all of the lining begins to grow moss. You feel there's this kind of a spark of magic at your fingertips, and you feel like you could cast Druidcraft whilst wearing this.
More importantly, it grows its own moss.
It grows its own moss.
Imagine the cure
A moss cloak.
dude.
Yeah, self-sustaining. And it's ethically sourced.
So he says.
Inside joke, no.
What, you think I'm a liar? God damn. Alright.
It's fine. I'm fine.
It's fine.
It's
I'm
fine.
fine.
I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
It's getting clipped.
Done on purpose.
So it's a cloak of Druidcraft that he offers to you for 70 gold.
It's really nice, but I don't really carry that kind of money on me.
Do you have anything to
shame.
trade, maybe, Kaiden?
No, not really.
You do have something you can trade.
I do?
You have a set of charlatan's die, weighted dice, that could be sold to him. Whenever you roll the 6-sided die, you control which number it rolls.
Did I give that to Baylor, or did I? No?
I don't think you
I'm
did.
not sure. Okay. I wasn't sure if I did.
You also have a horn in your pocket, like a musical instrument horn.
Yeah, he has a horn. It's like the like carved from an animal, like a war horn kind of thing.
Yes, hello, Babushka.
I see this.
You're getting slapped in the arm, Kaiden. Just...
Ymir, yeah.
I had to sell something nice. Slap.
You're gonna give him the money for it.
You're my bitch now.
Oh my god.
I give him son of a gold piece. To be fair, he did help me in my cave exploits. I kind of be an asshole if I did it. So, yeah, 70 gold pieces. Slap, slap.
Vanson kind of goes, "Oh, look at that! You suddenly have money."
Yeah, I think I'll take it.
That's right.
Thank you,
We're in a
Ymir.
good place.
Okay.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Well, if you want to keep wearing it, you just gotta hand over that 70 that she gave you.
Just gonna hand over the gold.
And counts it out. Perfect. It's all yours. Cloak of Druidcraft.
Like a child of
Kaiden,
a fucking
Kaiden.
7.5-foot child in a cloak.
moss flying everywhere.
All right. Sack, move out.
Sack.
Walks the wrong direction.
Sinza gently grabs Ymir by the shoulders and points her in the right direction.
So you head out Vanson's store with a
Bye,
new cloak.
Vanson.
Not much else. Is there anything else you're looking for while you're out and about, or are you beginning to head back?
Open up
Kaiden just wants to walk around. So, like, if the others are heading back, he'll just go with them, but he'll probably just chill outside for a while.
Okay. You can sit outside and just kind of take in 𝘏𝘏𝘏 for a little while whilst Lyre is back home reading. Are Ymir and Sinza heading back, or are you staying with Kaiden?
I kind of don't want to leave Kaiden alone, because the last time we left Kaiden nearly alone, he got kidnapped by the 𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏. I'm sorry, the vampires.
We were there with him when that happened. It happened right in front of our eyes.
Oh, can you imagine what it's like if we did leave him alone?
He's fine. He's a big independent bull man.
Okay.
Kaiden. No far wandering traveling.
I'm not going to wander off. I just kind of want to stay outside for a bit.
Have some boar time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a patch of green outside the caravan. Quite a large patch of green as well, like almost like a communal area for people to sit outside and eat and do that sort of thing. But you're able to find a good spot in the grass and just kind of sit down and take in the sounds of 𝘏𝘏𝘏𝘏. Just a little wiggle, sit down. You don't notice, but whilst you are sat down for a long period of time, buttercups are starting to grow out of the floor in the grass around you. The rest of you, I assume, are making your way back. He's pretty much not too far from the caravan itself, so you can kind of keep an eye on him from the window if you have to. But Lyre's deep in his book, as always. This is on brand for Lyre.
Where's the nerd? Lyre!
As you walk in the door and you see Lyre like hunched over a table with a chisel on his trident, just fucking...
Whoa man, put the chisel down, okay? Put the chisel down. No one needs to get hurt.
Oh no, I'm studying.
Okay.
Look, come here.
It's very slow. Like, a wild animal. She kind of makes her way over.
As you both approach, Lyre opens up the Ember Moor, I believe it was called. Yeah. And lays it out. I found this book, and it has this information on a different style of magic that I haven't really looked into before. But it looks like I can channel the weave through a weapon or an instrument or a tool of sorts. But I saw this, and he points to the emblem of the Blade Singer. I saw this, and I thought if I could carve its runes around the sapphire in this trident, it might help imbue it once I get my magic back and I can try it. But he sort of points out this ring that goes around the sapphire. Toby, I'm carving runes into it, and I'm choosing a specific school of magic.
You don't have to, but you can.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just sort of choosing these runes that I know from previous studies.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask Ymir to make a history check?
Say no more. Ten.
They're pretty basic. These are divination runes.
I see what you're doing, Lyre. You're doing the runes for... I think she just forgets that she's blind. She's just feeling it, like, slightly, like... What are you trying to do, hypothetically, if I did not know what you were doing?
Well, since you obviously know, but Sinza does not.
Of course.
I was called a Vi of Asus and offered a challenge by the gods.
Mm-hmm.
So why not be a bit more of a pain in the ass and try and master their own magic?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least its runes.
Oh. Lyre, you are really petty and sassy.
Oh, you have no idea.
I was like there. She was just like I was. But okay, this is going to be good. This is going to end well.
You're good with forging things, correct?
How did you know that did that with documents? Oh, you mean like the yes. Yes.
Well, I have this dust, and he'll pull out the gem dust. Toby, is it amethyst dust? So it's like a purpley...
It's amethyst, yeah. It's 150 gold pieces of amethyst dust.
Amethyst dust. You snorted it. I was wondering if you could help me once I finish carving these runes. Could you help me inlay the amethyst dust into the chiseled outlines and grooves of the runes?
Can I do that, Tibbs? That's something my skill set.
As a forge cleric, yeah, you could do that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a bit more refined than you're used to, but you can do it.
It's a bit more refined than I'm used to, but I can do it.
Okay. Not yet. I still have to finish the runes, and I want to read this book a bit more and understand it better. But
yes,
in the future, that would be great.
Of course. I got you.
Thank you. Where's the big man?
I got
What did you do?
He's having ball man time.
Oh, okay. Well,
Kaiden, are you meditating?
Probably. I would say, like, you could probably, I could probably see him from where he is in his room if he's got like a window or something. You see him kind of sitting in the grass, and then if you look away and then look back, he's instantly just passed out on the fucking grass. he's conked out.
He's snoozing.
He's never very good at meditating. He used to just fall asleep.
That's his meditating is like.
He looks like he's laying on like a blanket of moss, and then you look closely, and it's the inside of his cloak.
Yeah, blends in.
He just blends in. He's got this kind of fur collar now over his.
You gave him a constant blanket.
I did, yeah. It's an hoodie without the
Oh,
harms.
hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
It's nice and warm. Considering you live in a tropical climate, maybe that's not a good thing. But hey,
Cozy though.
Cozy boy.
He's cozy.
Oh, well, you said that maybe we should kind of regroup and have a conversation. Do you want me to go get the sleeping Kaiden, or?
Yeah, we can get. I think. Did we get the name of the innkeeper? Oh. I think the innkeeper is bringing us some food soon, so we can have some dinner, have a talk, get everything sorted.
Yeah. I'll go fetch the ball man.
All right.
He sends her heads outside to wake Kaiden.
He's gone.
She picks a little bit of grass that's on the ground and
he looks
like
dead from the distance.
Puts it on his snout, just like kind of like she's squatted over you and she's like making like a little mound of grass on top of your snout as you're sleeping. Kaiden.
Tons of grass on his snout. He just accidentally snorts it all in.
Okay. As you're kind of brought indoors, I have to like half dribble down your chin from where you were snoring. You can see the innkeeper is bringing sort of a big basket to your caravan, and he open the door. Dinner.
Thank you.
And passes it to you. Enjoy. He seems to struggle with that and then heads back. As you open up this basket, it seems to be full of pumpkin, carrot, and marigold dumplings. And then there's a sort of a section underneath the underneath the basket that kind of pulls out that's full of black sesame and walnut mooncakes.
Oh, fancy.
It's very elven culture. It's not like what you're used to, but it seems nice. There's kind of these savory dumplings. There's a lot of them. There's about 30-something dumplings here.
That's Kaiden's dinner.
That'll just feed Kaiden.
Yep.
10 of these little mooncakes, each of which are black with this gold icing of flowers intricately done on the top of them. They're quite chewy, but sweet and pleasant, and quite a filling meal overall.
Yeah, Lyre will place that down in a common room area where everyone can sort of sit around and just munch while we talk.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been a while since we've just sort of stopped and talked about everything. Do we kind of want to talk about what's next?
Oh, when we get to the Asus Ridge, I think we all have I know that you have a kind of path there and what you're searching for. Ymir as well, possibly. I'm just kind of along for the ride.
Okay. Well, my stuff's a lot. A lot. So I don't want to get into that right away. But he'll sort of turn to Kaiden. Kaiden, I don't really know much about you. What's the end goal? Do you want to achieve anything? Is there a mission that you're on, or is there a place you need to go? Because we've never really asked. At least I haven't, I should say.
There's not really a specific place I want to go. I mean, I wanted to learn druidic magic for a long time, and I'm making progress, and maybe see if I can find my dad. I know most of the group thinks he's dead, but that all came from my uncle, so I don't know.
The uncle you killed?
Yeah.
Okay. Where?
Well, we only brought back a finger, so I don't know if he's alive or dead.
Okay. Where was the last place you knew he was or was going?
I don't know. It was a long time ago. I can't remember what he was doing at the time. And then I was in the Drowery Green by myself for a long time. So I'm not really sure. I'm pretty certain he's not in that area.
Okay. Is he the same? I forget the name of the race. Right, the same race as you, or is he a?
Yeah. He's similar.
Okay. Well, we can keep an eye out by chance, but If we need to go back to your conclave and ask questions, maybe your mother might know something, or your sister?
Maybe. As far as I'm aware, they still think he's dead. And I don't want to open up any old wounds to them.
Okay.
For no reason.
Is there anything else you want to achieve? Any goals or?
Keep improving my magic. I mean, I don't really have any big lofty goals like challenging gods or anything. But you know, I wanted to make some friends for a long time, and you know, I think I've made some here. We also had that really weird dream a few times, and then we haven't had any in a while.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with that.
Okay.
There's a lot of noise going on in Sahonas at the moment.
What do you mean?
There was a cleric party that we passed. They've called for aid. Assistance with the disease.
Did you warn them of what we encountered?
I didn't know if it was best to involve ourselves in something outside knowledge may have made them uncomfortably curious. If they're going to Sahonas, they're going to find out either way. If they're calling for aid, I can only hope that the people that are in power there will warn them. This is bigger than any of us.
This might be the skeptic in me, but when we were leaving, a cult of vampires was trying to rise up above the ground and take control.
I still believe they are responsible for the disease.
Oh, I agree, but what if they have gotten above ground and taken control and have called for aid for more bodies?
I wouldn't be surprised. What we haven't really touched on this, we haven't really talked about it. When we found you, Kaiden, in the cells, they were playing around with some kind of magic. There were people down there who were infected. And I don't know what they were playing with, but there was a lot of wild magic in that place.
Kaiden, roll me a history check at disadvantage.
Oh,
Sorry, big
come on,
man.
smart boy.
Okay. That's a 12.
12. Your memories of that time are hazy. You can't quite place specifics, as if you've already repressed everything that happened there, in order to keep doing the things you've needed to do without falling apart. They took something from you, but you don't know what.
I don't remember much, and this I have vague memories is kind of tucked away in somewhere, and I don't really know what they were doing.
It was like you said, Lyre, that night that we had our argument. The Lich is a form of anti-magic, and wild magic is a form of life. They were utilizing that to form something else, and my concern is that they may have taken something or utilized something in a way. The reason why they had Kaiden.
Well, Kaiden was a battery. They were using him for something called synthesis, I believe it was. They're trying to create a new race of vampire. Life and undeath together. If they took something from you, Kaiden, it might have been a key
I definitely feel sort of something missing.
That might have been a key to what they were looking for. We might have not have gotten to you in time to stop whatever plan they had.
They only had him for a few hours. What could they have taken?
Think about the abilities you have, Sinza. Your skills and your talents and all your special individual identities and skills. Now imagine what other people can wield without our knowing. Think what you can do in a matter of hours. Think what I could have done in a matter of hours. The scary realization is they could have done everything they needed to. We're not the only powerful things in this world. Well, you guys.
I don't know, the thought about it unsettles me.
Yeah.
People with that kind of power, playing with things they don't fully understand, and...
Okay.
that something's coming, and...
Okay.
it's coming from someone else.
So what I'm hearing is... Oh.
Romeo was safe.
Ah!
What are you... Oh no!
You better roll high, bitch.
No!
I'm gonna throw hands.
I
Stab you.
see it in the cards. It's below a 10.
Have some faith in me, motherfucker.
I have faith in you. Yes, I believe.
$23.
Oh!
You feel a spike of something as they are mentioning synthesis. And quietly, distantly.
You gave me everything I needed.
I knew it.
Okay, why you kind of sound really good?
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Don't simp over the BBEG.
I'm not. It's a hell.
You tucked your hair. I saw it. Like...
You gave me more than I needed.
Guys, say synthesis again. I'm joking.
Please.
The same word.
Hey, spit his name 3 times to a mirror, he'll appear.
Hey, yo.
Ymir's just sort of like, she squints slightly and she's like, sure shakes it off.
Okay, so what I'm hearing so far is teach magic and grow stronger at it. Potentially find your old man. Keep an ear for Sahonos. Maybe we could send warning to your conclave as well, Kaiden, just to tell them not to really welcome outsiders at the moment, if things are sort of spreading there.
I mean, I don't have the postage stamp thing anymore.
You are very close to the woods, and you know someone who was at the border of the woods when you left it.
I've got to tell Creek.
Creek.
Yeah, I can tell Creek to pass the message. It's fine.
Creek has never been to the conclave, so that's going to be difficult for Creek
He'll
to
be fine.
try and get across, but they will try.
We are also in a city that probably has a postal service, so...
I can send a letter. Or Kaiden can. Or... I recently learned that you can just send letters, and she kind of holds up the little, like, postal thing that she has.
Yeah.
It's really handy.
Okay. All right. Well, Sinza, outside of Sahonos, what's the goal?
Briasai. The Kindred of Ash.
Why?
Why do you think?
I don't really know. You don't tell us.
You
much.
never explained what the Kindred of Ash were. You just told people you were looking for them.
I don't know anything about you, Sinza. Kaiden's the one you confide in.
The Kindred of Ash are a party of Lycan, who I believe are led by a man that goes by the name Miris. I'm hoping that they can give me some more insight into my curse, a better understanding of it, a further understanding, whether it's something that I want to keep and learn from, or get rid of entirely, and I'm not even sure if that's within their power. The person who originally told me about the Kindred of Ash, a friend of mine, they utilized this gift in a way that gave them an upper hand.
They were like
made them stronger. Yes.
Okay.
I want to have control over this. I don't want what has happened 2 times now to happen again. I don't see any of you when I'm like that. It's not me.
Okay. How would they feel about us being there with you? Being non...
Is this something that you want to do with me?
I mean, you're going to the Ridge with me.
That's, I think, less terrifying than meeting a pack of Lycan.
I mean, we've faced a fair bit of things. Ymir and I talked to a god 20 minutes ago.
To be honest, I've been mulling it over in my mind a little, and after the Asus Ridge, the possibility of me going alone. It's not that I don't want you all there, it's more, you have your own paths. Kaiden has something that he wants to do. You have, well, assured I have something else you want to do after all of this. I don't know how long I'm going to be there for, and dragging you all along for the ride is quite a trek.
Well, I'm happy to do whatever is your call, but I think that's a conversation you might have to have with Kaiden. Because that man, and you'll look over to Kaiden, loves you very much.
Sinza turns to look at Kaiden with these kind of mournful eyes. Do you want to come with me?
Yeah, I want to observe with you.
Then I guess after Asus, and if anything else happens, then we go to find the Kindred of Ash.
Okay. As you finish your meal and sit and talk amongst yourselves for the remainder of the evening, and each of you begins to peel off for the night, sleep comes to all of you, piece by piece. What you're not expecting is the cliffside. It's been a while. The four of you stood in tandem. You've been here before. You've seen this cliff overlooking the ocean, overlooking Eden, the moon, as it hangs low in the sky. And you see Synthesis. The figure with the blue eyes stood on the ocean. There is a smile that pierces the dark as he's looking towards all of you. But the smile is kind of, it's difficult to see amongst the tentacles that are hanging from its face, given his nature, or what he is, before he begins to sink into the ocean, and a different figure replaces him, and the moon turns red. This white furred creature climbs out of the dark, out of the ocean as if it was solid ground, pulls itself free, with these bright eyes that stare through the dark. All of you feel your limbs locking in place as it's looking at you, this involuntary fear. There's a period of nothing whilst you watch it heaving breaths. The white lichen stood upon the waves, watching the four of you.
You can't run forever, and I will hunt all of you down, one by one, and I will savor your flesh. I will drink your blood. I will paint jungles with your insides, and you will know death, for I am death. Start running, because the hunt has begun.
And each of you, one by one, snaps awake the next morning in a cold sweat. With that, we're going to end our session. Yippee.
Oh
Thanks
dear.
for playing, guys.
Oh no.
Oh dear. And now, hello. It'll be good.
Zani's hunting us?
Hello. We will be back same time next week. Potentially, hopefully. So, see you then. Thank you for watching. Bye.